by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Break through your own limits, rise above, and vision ng kanilang rival na Next Play Esports. Ano nga ba, Rockhart, yung magandang ipinakita nila kahapon?
I think Execration, they really drafted very well, especially on Game 2. Game 3 was super close. Despite the great draft by NXP, nagawan ng paraan ng Execration by just pure mechanics. And that's what's so impressive about this team. Palagi na lang talaga, pag binigyan mo sila ng opportunity, laging tumatalon agad sila, and Chaknu definitely is sa mga highlight new players ng team na to.
What that reminds me of is the veteran experience of Execration. Nakalimutan ba natin na dugong obs yan? Dugong season 1 pa lang yan. Nandyan na sila. And if ever, I may say, round 1 pa lang naman to ng NXP versus Execration this season 7. Parang kinulang ako, promise. Ako lang yun na medyo, I was a little nabitin, sabihin natin. Parang gusto ko pa. Nabitin ako sa 3 games.
Oy, ngayon, mas makikita natin sila at siguradong ang kanilang mga manlalaro woke up today na sobrang saya. Tignan natin ang lineup for today. E2 Max, Chaknu, Renjo, Kelra, and Kia VJ.
And again, Renjo, you gotta watch out for this guy. Pakito, tingin ko mabanto mamaya, no?
Yeah, especially not just that, kasi pwede nila i-flex yun eh. And that's what's so crazy and so scary about this lineup. Save for Kelra, lahat sila veterano na sa MPL. And speaking of which, Kelra himself, hindi siya galaw rookie eh. Kahapon, sobrang MPL si Kelra kahapon. And kung maalala ninyo, yung final winner's cam ng Execration, siya ang nandoon. And yeah, to be honest, it was a little too much for some people, pero that's showmanship. That's showmanship. And I love that this rookie here, si Kelra, ramdam niya. So, ang hype yata, ang rivalry, Kelra versus Rene J. Gotta give it kudos to the rookie. Di ba, Kelra took this match, took this day.
Pero talaga may pinapatunayan naman talaga itong si Kelra. He can talk the talk and walk the walk. Ang makakalaban nila today, this young team is hoping to bounce back and get the W. Let's welcome Laus Playbook Esports. LPE, well, they're coming off a loss. How can you break down their performance so far ngayong season 7? Are you happy with what you've been seeing? Ano ba ang kulang? Rockhart.
I think LPE has been having some communication issues, probably.
Communication.
And I think naging big factor yun. Iba talaga yung ramdam mo, yung katabi mo, yung nagkakol eh. Instead of narinig mo lang sa tenga mo. So, ngayon, wala nang ganun. Wala nang issue ganon. Is that going to change what's happening to LPE? Magbabago ba yung trajectory nila? Yung gusto ko makita sa laban na to.
Communication din ba sa tingin mo ang kulang?
I think they have their communication down. LPE feels like a team, again, they were built from the ground up. They have been together for the better part of a year now. And they're a team that, whether online or offline, I feel like may ibubuga sila. If there's anything I love about LPE right now, is the fact that they still have good vibes. Despite having everything that happened across the past couple of weeks, the past month, it's very difficult for all of us, honestly, in the Philippines, around the world. Ang nakuha kong vibes sa LP is parang professional pa rin sila. Laban pa rin kung laban. And again, under their leadership, and of course, looking at how they were introduced. Di ba parang nakikita ko sa mukha nila, sa mata nila na parang, game pa, okay pa, week 2 pa lang naman, week 3 pa lang naman eh. Kaya pa to.
Yan dapat ang kailangan. Dapat palaging good vibes. Talagang maaapektuhan kung ano nga ba yung laro mo. Depende sa mood mo at sa mindset mo. Ngayon, kilalanin na natin kung sino nga ba ang maglalaro. Ngayong araw na ito, Jake the Dog, Aspect, Arvs, Variota, and Bimo.
And I think Jake the Dog, again, one of the most underrated players in the league.
Why
Especially
so?
I think na the blind side kasi, pag nakita nyo yung mga teams, minsan titignan mo agad yung jungle. Isipin mo, jungler bida. Pero hindi, nagagawa niya yun from a different position. And I really like that with Jake the Dog.
Yep, yeah, again, jungler, that's Aspect. And of course, you have large expectations. But yeah, Jake the Dog here, I really do hope people pay more attention to him, give him the spotlight. And despite what Coach Panda says, pangit yung ugali. Diba? That's what he says when we talk to him about Jake the Dog. His ugali is always pangit. But that's a joke. That's how much they love each other. I really do believe this player has so much more to give.
LPE and Execration, they're looking to improve their standings. And this head-to-head is brought to you by Oppo A94. Experience gaming at full speed with the new Oppo A94. Get yours now for only 13,999 pesos. Exe, LPE, well, back-to-back or bounce-back. Itong Exe, fresh off a win kahapon, now 2-2 record, looking for a back-to-back consecutive wins. LPE naman wants to bounce back and improve their win kasi ngayon may 1 win, 2 losses sila, 33% match win rate, number 5 ngayon sa ating Group B. If we're taking a look at the team comparison right now, yung stats natin, ako, para sa akin, nakikita ko dito yung unique heroes picked. Yung Exe mukhang hindi sila takot maglabas ng hero. Yung LPE, 20 unique heroes lang. Do you think it's time for them to explore outside of the hero pool?
I think it's not that big of a problem for Execration. Kasi I think from their experience in practice, parang kahit anong kaya naming i-pull off eh. We got the Chuck Mamba, guys. Come on, we got magic. Literal magic on our sides minsan. Feeling mo, di ba? So, that's probably the reason.
Yeah, and gotta give kudos where credit is due, right? That's two phrases I put together. But nevertheless, si Mr. Mobile Legends, si Coach Pacbet, one of the most underrated coaches. Again, we know him more as a player, as a personality. Pero kita mo to, 31 heroes. Even I did not notice na ganun pala karami or ganun ka-creative ang Execration. Now, just seeing 31, that's what, 11 more than LPE. And they have about the same matches. So really, I'm so excited to see what else they have.
Meron tayong mga manlalaro, key players na talagang nangingibabaw, and who will be the head shoulders above the competition? Put your game face on. And finally, say goodbye to those awkward #ItChaGG moment. Thanks to Head and Shoulders, 100% dandruff-free and itch-free. Now, mas mabango pa. Para sa Execration, nandyan si Kelra, VJ, and Rencho. Why are they key players?
I think they're just the key players because you have here your jungler and then you have your side laners. Basically, trinity yan ng kahit anong lineup. Kailangan na lang isipin dito, tank, mid, Etomax, Chakno, sundan nyo lang yung gagawin nila. They're gonna set the pace and then follow through. Set the pace, follow through. It's a two-step process, and if you can do that, you're gonna win. And I think I mentioned this yesterday during the broadcast of this matchup. There are two-step plans, you're winning. There are 5 or 6 step plans when you're losing. And if these 3 guys do their job, chances are panalo Execration.
Sa panig naman ng LPE, nandyan si Jake the Dog, Arvs, and Brayota. What kind of job are they doing? How effective are they para sa Laus Playbook Esports, Rockhart?
Sabi ko na yung ginagawa ni Jake the Dog kanina. I think Ryota this time around and Arvs, they work hand in hand in making the call. Obviously, yung veteran experience kasi ni Bimo, given na yan eh. Mag-call talaga yan kung saan kailangan mapunta yung team niya. Pero I think the play of Arvs and Ryota dictates whether or not lamang yung LPE or sila yung nasa umahabol.
Now let's put 2 players, one from each team, side by side each other. We're gonna feature them, and this featured player will do all they can para hindi ma-GG. Bring your Kalay game with Master. Sikreto ng mga gwapo. Ikukumpara natin etong si Renjo at si Ryota. What is outstanding between the two?
Renzio's more of a bigger built guy. Ryota's got that nerdy look. Oh, sorry, about the game, right? Oh, right, about the game. Ryota, I noticed Ryota is more capable of rotating. He's able to make more of the map. And then si Renzio, ito ang gusto ko kay Renzio. He's either very good at playing the detention game, meaning ikukulong niya yung kalaban niya, pipilitin niyang ma-pressure. And then, when it's come game time, finishing time na, as in nasa base na tayo, dun siya papaka-super saiyan, i-unlock niya yung final potential, 3-man knockup.
Yeah, and I think sobrang underrated din ni Renjo because he's been that ultimate 6-man. Yung 6-man na lagi mong ibapasok eh, before.
Aura days.
Before on Aura days. Yeah. Ngayon, fully unleashed na siya. He's playing so much better than we saw him in the previous seasons.
Talagang kailangan nila magpakitang gilas if they want to get their win for today. Rockhart, meron tayong laning prediction. At anong masasabi mo dito sa ating lane formation?
And as predicted, Etomax is going to be the ones for making the calls here. In-game leader, X has got that. Kind of expected all around actually. Ang pinaka-matchup na nakita ko later on will also be on Aspect and KLVJ. KLVJ, gigil yesterday for sure. You know?
Oh yeah. But again, KLVJ is not afraid to make those sacrifices. especially during Game 3. Alam niya mamamatay siya as the Granger. He's willing to do that. Another matchup I'm looking forward to is, again, Jake the Dog versus Kelra. One, underrated. The other, he just wants the spotlight. I'm wondering what that rivalry is going to look like.
Sino nga ba makakakuha ng spotlight today? Oras na para magsalpukan ang dalawang koponan. LPE kontra Execration. Shoutcasters, pasok!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Casters Desk. Ako si Butters, kasama ko ngayon si Rob Luna, and always do remember that the MPL Philippines Season 7 is presented by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Nakita na nga natin, Rob, yung nakalagay doon na title. It's bounce back or back to back.
Yes, bounce back or back to back. So, well, of course, Execration coming from the win yesterday against Next Play Esports, and LPE, nasabi to kanina nila Rockhart na they were gonna be playing ngayon na magkakasama. Excited ako makita yung Butters.
And syempre, as we try to bounce back, as we continue to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic, we encourage everyone to follow the government's health and safety protocols. This includes practicing social distancing, wearing a face mask and face shield, sanitizing, proper hand washing, and staying at home as much as possible. Let's all do our part to stay safe and help stop COVID-19. Rob, you were saying, ano nga ba yung mga intricacies at yung mga pasikot-sikot netong matchup na to?
Well, itong matchup na to, ang pinakatitignan dito, of course, is yung consistency ng Execration coming from a win against nga sa Next Play Esports yesterday. And of course, for LPE naman, is paano nga ba sila makakabalik? I mean, 2 losses is already, sabihin na natin, medyo mabigat for the team. And to any team talagang you need to make something happen talaga specifically. So, probably this might be the game. At ang pinakamaganda kasi dito, they were on the same bracket. So, they were actually fighting in terms of standing sa bracket B.
Now, consistency ang kailangan natin makita sa Execration, and yun talaga yung kailangan nila i-emphasize eh. Kasi kung explosiveness lang naman ang usapan, pinaka-explosive, isa sa mga pinaka-explosive ang Execration. Well, for LPE naman, they are probably sticking with what works. Nasa kanila yung idea ng consistency, but that consistency na hinahanap nila into winning games still have to kick in. And who will make smarter choices dito sa draft? Syempre, this is brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Rob, let's head into the draft now. Selena and Angela ang binan dito ng LPE, while Execration, medyo iniisip pa nila kung ano yung gagawin nila. I think that's a Jawhead, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Jawhead yung kanilang naging first ban dito. So, in terms of sa banning dito ng LPA, to be honest, ito hindi masyado to na-open itong Selena na to. Nagulat lang ako, na-open to actually kanina on the first series natin, Signal Ultra, and as well with Work. Pero dito, I like the ban, no? Execration actually be the one to be banning the Pakito, wherein ito yung isa sa pinaka naging sikat na hero nila. Of course, Renzo has been doing well with this hero, pero since ang magiging first pick natin dito is LPE, so they don't want to face against a Pakito.
Binan ang pambansang kamao ng Land of Dawn, ladies and gentlemen, si Pakito. Eh, kakalabas lang yung skin yan. Pacquiao license skin. Isipin mo yun, naglalaro ka lang Mobile Legends. Biglang lalabas si Manny Pacquiao. Mobile Legends lang, wala suntukan.
Oo, totoo naman. Saka ano yan, saka pag natalo ka dyan, hindi ka natatalo. Pag gamit mo yung skin na yan.
Ano ba yan?
Ang banat kasi dyan, Kuya Butters, hindi ka natatalo, pero ikaw ay natututo. Ganyan ang banat dyan, Kuya Butters.
Alam mo, Rob, syempre itong mga teams na to, ayaw matalo. At more or less, kahit manalo sila dito, gusto din nilang matuto eh.
Eksakto.
Kasi kailangan sa MPL, always adjusting ka eh. Kasi hindi talaga nakaset sa isang bagay ang MPL meta. As we saw nung Season 6 or kahit yung previous seasons pa, kung sino yung pinakaunang mag-adapt, Rob, sila yung nananaig sa dulo.
Oo, adaptation is key talaga. Lalo na interchanging talaga yung meta natin. Kumbaga, ito nga yung tinatawag nila the nice one baby meta eh. Diba?
Bakit
the nice one baby meta? Ayan, nakikita mo dito, Angela. Diba? Yung mga support, mga sustain, yung mga heal. So, sila yung mga nasa meta natin ngayon. They were actually been buffed earlier. Tapos yun nga, yung si Miss Nice One, Rafaela. Diba? So, basically, babalik tayo sa mga normal drafting natin since nawala yung mga Nice One baby na mga heroes.
And LPE dito, getting the That's My Baby Right There pick para sa side nila. That's going to be the Benedetta. Isa yan sa mga laging sinasapian ng isang Angela. At medyo sabihin natin, pwede rin siyang tulungan na isang Rafaela, but you would see Rafaela, going for the support doon sa mga marksmen. Execration naman dito, they have 2 possible power picks on their side.
Agree ako sa'yo dyan. I think they were actually thinking if they will be taking the Alice right now, posible rin yung kunin na rin nila dito. Yung actually, Cho has actually been doing great sa mga nakaraang mga series natin. We've seen it with Onyx, we've seen it with Work. So, there's also a possibility na gawin nila yun dito. But Esmeralda, Ling, that's actually, na kinuha nila kagad yung jungler dito ni KelVJ.
It's very surprising para sa akin, Rob, na ang ginawa dito na Execration, katulad sinabi mo, pwede sila kumuha ng Cho. But they stick with that Ling and that Alice. Yung Alice, maintindihan mo pa.
Yes.
And Execration, yung Ling, feeling ko parang Execration special to napapagamit nila kay KelVJ. Now, the question is, LPE, they have a chance to get their hands on a Cho. Pwede sila kumuha ng Cho dito
Indeed, pwede yon, no? Or it's either they are forcing LPE dito na gumamit ng YSS. Wherein ito isa kasi sa madalas na ginagamit dito ni Aspect or even a Granger. Pero since naban nga nila dito si Rafaela, so yung marksman type like yung Rafaela na Bruno, yung si Brunella nga, medyo hindi pwede na mangyari dito for the side of LPE. But si Roger Toll.
Roger Toll.
Si Roger Toll, di ba?
And makikita natin actually kung Roger wins games nga.
Totoo. Ang maganda dito, no? Kasi nakuha na nila kagad dito si Roger. Alam nila kasi hindi na magla-Lancelot. Magla-Lancelot ang Execration dahil kinuha na yung Ling. That's the thing about it.
That's the thing about it. And Rob, tignan natin kung ano nga ba ang magiging pick dito na side ng Execration. They go straight for a Baksha. It's a good answer against a Chang'o.
Yes. To be able to soak or absorb damage dito na ibabato dito ng Chang'o with the Meteor Shower. And so far dito, Butters, I really liking both of the teams in terms of their drafting, no? Parang hindi mo pa rin mag-gauge talaga on how they would like to proceed dito. And somehow, Execration dito, they could potentially work on the mid game and even LPE, ganun din.
Iswerve lang natin muna yung conversation natin. It's nice to see LPE playing doon sa kanilang bootcamp na hindi na sila papel.
Yes, oo. Yun ang maganda ron, no? Yung yun yung sinasabi rin kanina ni Rockhart ano ang mababago ngayon sa LPE? This is probably the LPE that we've seen during the main qualifiers, and time again, LPE, nanggaling sila sa, bigyan lang namin kayo guys ng konting history on how they actually went into MPL Season 7. Nanggaling sila sa I think that was the lower bracket ng main qualifiers at ginapang nila yon up until na makapasok sila dito.
And to be honest, para sa atin, mga casters din at sa ibang tao din na nakausap natin, they were really thinking that Archangel were the ones who's gonna go in. But they defied those odds. And they are in the MPL. Now, LPE, kailangan naman nila patunayan yung sarili nila dito sa MPL. Yung ginawa nilang performance nung past weeks, hindi... Sabihin na lang natin, nakikita natin potential Kahit sabihin natin na magkakaroon sila ng lapses, but still, hindi sila magkakasama nun. And this might be a game changer para dito sa LPE na magkakasama na sila, while for the side of Execration, hindi naman nila hahayaan din basta-basta yon. Kasi as we all know, Execration ngayon, napaka-confident niyan coming out from that win against NXP.
Momentum, indeed. Dito ang Execration. And going back dito, no, LPE are actually banning yung mga hero dito ni Etomax. Pero Etomax, we have all known him na sobrang dami or ng mga heroes na pwede niyang gamitin dito. I think Parsa is even open, but this is a Grak. This is probably kumbaga, way back season 4, Kuya Butters, maaalala mo yun, the Grak Black ni Chaknu.
The Grak Black. Well, tignan natin kung paano gagamitin ng Execration to dito. Remember, there are times na pwede mo rin yung makita sa side lane with a high-end dry, and ginagamit din yan na tank. Pero naka-high-end dry din. So there are many variations. May iba-iba pong gamit ngayon ang isang Grak, and tignan natin kung paano siya i-utilize ng Execration.
Yeah, I like what you mentioned na maraming gamit ang Grak. No? We've seen this with Raflisha, no? Na ginamit niya with high-end dry. Even Execration actually been the one to familiarize or nagpasikat sa atin ng side lane na Grak. Na yun din, naka-high-end dry din. And yeah, for LPE dito, ito ngayon ang iniisip ko, no, Butters, how would they, paano nila tutunawin to back sa Garak, and given that going into the late game, itong Alice na to, alam din natin na, well, medyo talagang titigas talaga siya with the Winter Transon, pero basically, the longer na humahaba yung laro, ay mas lalong humihirap labanan ng isang Alice.
Kailangan magkape ng LPE. Walang matigas na tinapay sa mainit na kape. Pero, Rob, just to answer your question, medyo mas tama. Hindi na bibiro. The Roger has this innate capability of taking down heroes na mataas yung buhay. Kasi nagkakaroon siya ng percentage-based damage dun sa physical attacks niya kapag ka nasa wolf form siya.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes, agree ako dyan. And not only that, no, this pick with the Sylvana rito would also be tricky for the side of Execration. Pwede nila tong panghuli, di ba? Number 1, Ling, if you are actually good in getting the Imperial Justice, and even you could cancel the Flowing Blood dito ng isang Alice. Kumbaga, pwede mo siyang hindi palabasin doon sa loob. So, yeah, I'm really excited dito para sa side ng LPN, how would they bounce back dito sa game na to.
Always remember din dito na dun sa lineup na ginawa ng Laus Playbook Esports, kailangan nila mag-all-in, especially with the Benedetta, with the Roger, mga in-your-face heroes to eh. But with a back siya, dun pumapasok yung challenge sa draft nila dun sa side ng Execration. Kasi, kung isipin mo, kahit mag-killing spree ka dyan, medyo nagiging limited yung lifestyle na nagagawa mo. And at the same time, kailangan mo talaga i-sustain yung sarili mo. Kasi, katulad sinabi mo, Rob, tanky ang mga heroes dito ng Execration.
But we will find out in just a bit, ladies and gentlemen. This is game number 1, LPE versus Execration.
Oh no, ito mga kaibigan. Ito pinakamagandang tanong talaga dito. Paano ang setup dito in terms of rotation dito ng Execration? This could be probably ang bilis ng minion wave clear nila dito together with this Grak and ito rin kay Etomax na Farsa.
And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, Chakno dito going for a more traditional take sa isang Grak. Kumuha siya dito ng focusing fire. And makakatulong yan in dealing damage dito sa mga less tanky heroes sa side ng LPE. And first blood dito, wow!
Oh no, medyo yun okay na nakuha nila yung first blood, pero given na ang nakuha or napitas dito ng LPE was actually KLVJ, and given na nakuha niya yung purple buff that time. So this is actually good news for the side of LPE.
And as you can see, LPE dito, nasa kanila pa rin yung bola in terms of getting their purple buff. Now, Jake the Dog, Kelra, nandito sila sa area sa may taas. They're trying to scale up, trying to get level 4, pero si KLVJ, siya pa rin ang main target nila, Bimo.
Grabe yung yung binibigay na pressure dito with KLVJ. Medyo nabasa ng LPE na kailangan nila ako muntikan pa umabot doon. Si Bimo, split second yung kanyang yung recall doon ni KLVJ. Pero eto ngayon, magkakaroon tayo ng slight problem dito for the side of Execration kasi dalawang beses na nakukuha dito si KLVJ, and yung first objective natin for sure is gonna be the first turtle. Medyo I doubt na makaka-contest dito ang Execration.
And as we all know, Rob, yan talaga isa sa mga pinaka-problema ng isang Ling ngayon. Dati yung command niya sa may jungle nakakatakot, pero ngayon may mga ways na para talaga i-kick out siya sa sarili niyang jungle, katulad na nakikita natin ngayon. And Rob, kung napapansin mo dito, 2 kills sa si Bimo na may Festival of Blood. Makakatulong ba yan sa kanya?
Makakatulong talaga yan. Ito yung yung difference na to pagka sumasabay sa iyo yung Benedetta, tapos pinupuntahan ka rin and ini-invade ka mismo sa jungle mo. Look at this one. Sobrang aggressive pa rin ng Execration dito regardless na si KLVJ wala siyang purple buff.
And right now, we are actually seeing a fight. Chakno dito tumatakbo with the power of nature. Matutumba kaya siya dito? Ryota, hinahabol pa rin siya. Flicker in. Huli siya dito. Aspect with that Roger. Siya ata ang tutumba. And will that be a 1-for-1? Doon ata matatapos yun. Jake the Dog, ginamit yung ultimate niya dito. Pero doon matatapos ang laban. Doon sa may likod. Bimo dito still wants more. Renjo dito, aalalay. Tutulungan yung dalawang teammate niya. Arbs dito with that drill. Tatamaan si Renjo. Pero masyado siyang makunat. And mafo-force out nila dito ang LPE sa gubat nila.
LPE is really doing its best to invade dito ang jungle ng Execration. It was probably an overcommitment kanina, no? Nung pinasok doon ng LPE, and if ever na umabot doon yung buong Execration squad, they could actually get wiped out. Pero consistent dito ang nagiging galaw ng LPE. Pero for Execration, kahit papaano sumasabay pa rin naman sila. They really have to work it around. Medyo kailangan dito na bumawi going into the mid game natin dito ang Execration. Kumbaga, nasa kanila naman yung yung time
Now, looking at the pacing, Rob, kanino nga ba pumapanig etong pagiging hyper-aggressive ng LPE? As you can see, si Keller din dito, ginaw na, but Ling dito ang pagbangon ng api. KillVJ getting a kill of his own and make that double pa, ladies and gentlemen. May tutumba din dito sa may turtle area. Aspect going down, so that means si KillVJ pwede siya pumunta dyan with an easy retribution and almost uncontested ang mangyayari dito para sa side na Execration na turtle take.
Ang ganda ng comeback dito, Butters, ng Execration. I mean, those 2 kills with KillVJ is actually crucial sa early game, pero nakabawi sila bigla dito. They got the turtle, nakakuha pa sila ng kill doon sa may top lane, and I think medyo halos natabla na yung gold natin dito, mga kaibigan. 4 minutes into the game, medyo action Jackson talaga yung mga laban natin, and it all thanks to Chakno, kung ako sasabihin ko. Kumbaga yung vision na napoprovide dito, hindi rin siya basta-basta sila napapasok dito. Look at the damage ng wild charge na yon.
And Orbs, hindi na tama yung Imperial Justice dito. Eto Max with the punish. Gagamitin sila Feathered Airstrike. Orbs dito trying to get away. Nandun sa gitna yung Rejuvenate, ladies and gentlemen. Revitalize, rather. But right now, there is going to be a go on Ryota. Ryota goes down. Jake the Dog dito. Meteor Shower, medyo nalilate ang kanyang pagpasok, but still, it is what it is. Execration dito, sila na naman ang nakakuha ng magandang trade.
Indeed. Ang mahirap kasi dito, no, for side of Jake the Dog, nasa top lane kasi siya dito, and most of the time, they go invade with the purple buff dito ni KillVJ. So, in terms sa pag-responde dito ng Chango, medyo malayo yung kanyang babaybayin para pumunta lang doon at tumulong. Pero look at that Imperial Justice, mukhang may huli dito, Butters.
And that is going to be Farsa going down. Chaklo dito, tina-target pa nila, pero I don't think nakakayanin nila yan. Keller na naman ang nagiging main target dito para sa side ng LPE. KillVJ, naspatan na yung dalawang member dito ng LPE at mapipilitan siyang umalis habang sinesecure din na okay si Keller na makakabalik sa base.
Ito kasi yun, Butters, yung time nasa Execration, kailangan lang nilang i-drag tong game na to going into the late game. Sumasabay sila dito in terms of gold, hindi ganun kalaki ang lamang ng LPE, pero consistent ang pag-invade, consistent ang pagiging aggressive dito ng LPE. They have to make it work, pero up until now, wala pa rin silang nababasag na torre. They have a great start, pero not that great going into mid-game.
And yeah, always remember guys, kailangan yung kills na yan na-turn mo into objectives. At sino nga ba ang pinakaunang makakuha ng turret dito sa team na to? Tatandaan natin, yung trading pa lang nila dito is because of the turtle. Dun pa lang talaga mismo nagkakaroon ng isang matinding away. And right now, Execration, nandun pa rin sila sa area ng turtle. Ayaw nila ibigay basta-basta to sa side ng LPE.
Hindi rin ganun kasi ka-confident dito yung LPA. They're actually trying to poke it down itong turtle na to, but look at Chakno is going into the backlines dito ng LPE.
And look at that catch doon sa may likod. Orbs dito, catching out that Farsa. Naka-flame shot siya, wala siyang Purify. And look at this Ling, pumasok na rin siya dito with that Tempest of Blades. Orbs dito, trying to get away. Hahabulin pa ba siya ni Kill? Titigilan na nila doon. Renzo dito, naipit sa tatlo. He will go down. Chakno and the others will just run away, and Keller dito, ang tapang na move. Susubukan niya pa rin kunin yung turret and going in once again. Orbs dito nahuli, and that is going to be a kill para dito kay Keller.
Wow, Keller getting the kill doon kay Orbs, and not only that, grabe yung pag-zone out dito ni Chakno. Kumbaga, napaaga sa kanya. Yung quarantine. Sinara niya kagad yung mall. Sobra. I mean, anong oras pa lang, Butters? Sarado na kagad. Hindi, kumbaga, sinoke up niya na yung damage ng meteor shower doon. Kaya hindi nakatulong si Jake the Dog. Sabay, sinara niya. Hindi nakapasok doon si Jake the Dog.
Sir, sarado na po kami. Kailangan niyo po ng COE. Pero, nakikita naman natin dito kung gaano kataas yung priority ng both teams sa may turtle, Rob. To the point na wala masyadong emphasis into taking the turrets. Turtle ang usapan, turtle ang labanan, at sa turtle lang nangyayari ang lahat ng suntukan.
Oo, kumbaga turtle over turrets talaga dito ang mga tropa natin from LPE and Execration. Pero hindi rin natin sila masisisi. I mean, it's a bigger objective as well. Pero though, ang unang nabasag na torre dito is the tower of the top lane dito ng Execration. Pero so far, as the game is being dragged ng habang tumatagal, Execration, mas pumapalag sila dito, Butters.
And LPE, they're really finding ways para talagang magkaroon ng certain advantage dito sa side ng Execration. But LPE, nahuli si Aspect dito. And yan yung pick-off na gustong makuha ng Execration kanina pa. Just in time for that turtle. 0-4 na si Aspect dito. And KLBJ, unti-unti na nakakabawi. This is bad news para sa side ng LPE.
Bad news
Ay,
indeed.
saan na LPE? Tama. Kala ko Execration eh.
Oo. Pero ito kasi yun eh. Tama ka doon, Butters. Bad news talaga to for the side of LPE kasi they had supposed to win the mid game dito in order to be able to get a win dito against Execration. Kasi habang tumatagal, it's not only that, lalong kumukunat. Alam mo yun, kumbaga, yung dalawang chicharon natin dito, yung Grak, pati yung si Kuya Renzo, yung Baksha, yan yung mga chicharong nahanginan eh. Yung pag kinagat mo lunan lalaban.
Oo, pero ito, hindi chicharon to, pero hindi din makunat. Napakalambot dito ni Etomax, and Etomax will get caught out, and Arbs, napapansin mo, Rob, yun yung trabaho niya.
Totoo yan. And now, look at this. Even LPE, kahit paano, lamang pa rin sa at least 1,000 gold against Execration. Pero alam natin at nakikita natin yung struggle nila dito. Even the damage from the Lancelot, hindi na enough. Look at the wild charge dito. Ang sakit. Jake the Dog, halos mabura doon.
Execration dito, they're finding the pick-offs. Bimo, hinarangan ang daanan ni Renzo dito, pero andun si KLBJ para alalayan ang magkuya tandem ay pumasok na. Chakno dito tumulong na rin, and ito na ang third take para sa side ng Execration, and this is going to be one of the things na kailangan bantayan ng LPE. Dito lumalamang ng todo Execration pag nagiging sobrang hyper-aggressive na nila sa mapa.
Oh my, look at that. Ginamit na lahat doon ng Benedetta, lahat ng slice and dice niya doon. Pero halos hindi nakalahati yung mga buhay doon ng Baksha together. Itong Grak na to. Alam mo, lapag niya lang yung revitalize niya para bigay nyo na sa akin, i-damage nyo na kami. Pero baliwala lang ang lahat ng yon. So, in 10-minute mark, I can say dito, Butters, alanganin na ang LPE.
Now, Renzo at top, Ryota, sila nagkakaroon ng konting suntukan dito. And at the same time, you really know na nag-set up na rin ng Execration dito sa may Lord area na to. Kung papansin niyo, may triangle open sila sa mapa. Nandun si Parsa, nandun si Etomax, si Etomax Parsa, si Alice nandun din, pati si Grak.
Yes, I like that you mentioned, no, yung positioning dito ng Execration is actually ready for the Lord. And if ever na ma-pick off nila tong si Bimo, it's gonna be a go signal for them na kunin na ang unang Lord.
And that is going to be a shutdown dito kay Bimo. Bimo started out na talagang may 2 kills siya agad-agad. Pero napapunish siya dito at kailangan din mag-ingat ng LPE dun sa mga overextension na ganon. Yes, Benedetta ka, but still, masyadong madaming pang-punish dito. Yung side Execration, Rock dito will take down Aspect. Arbs trying to get away. Imperial Justice, nagamit niya na. And Execration, kahit sila yung nakakalamang dito, hindi nila ipipilit yung kalamangan na to, and they will go straight for the Lord. Alam nila na wala si Aspect dito, wala silang retribution.
Walang retribution, and not only that, ang ganda ng shot call ng Execration doon. Nakita nila nag-meteor shower si Jake the Dog doon sa may minion sa gitna. That's the reason why they actually jump in doon sa ilalim ng torre. Now, the Lord will be secured by Chakno.
And Chakno dito, siya makakuha. Bimo trying to run away. Ginamit niya na din yung Electro Final Blow. Execration, dito na natin makikita ang pag-push. Sa bottom lane pupunta yan dahil sa bottom lane may basag na isang turret. Now, Execration, ano ba yung tamang play para sa kanila dito? Samahan ba nila yan o mag-push sila ng ibang lane?
Tingin ko mag-push sila ng ibang lane. This is just a level 1 Lord. And given that na meron bang mga outer turrets dito from the top lane into the mid lane. Kasi, pero pwedeng sabayan ng isang hero dito para hindi lang basta-basta ma-burst down dito ng side ng LPE. Pero look at that kung gaano nakahiwa-hiwalay ngayon ng mga members dito ng Execration. They would like to choke LPE with this first Lord na kanilang nakuha.
At si Chakno talagang hinaharangan din dito yung Lord para hindi basta-basta makapasok doon sa may turret area. Habang nangyayari yung lahat, nakapag-set up na yung Execration dahil doon sa delay na yon at pag-take na nila yung mga turrets dito left doon sa mid at doon sa may top. Now, KLVJ focusing on that turret. Kahit nag-take siya ng onting turret shots dito, okay lang yun. Dahil Execration, they are making the map smaller para sa side ng LPE.
Exactly. This is probably the choke point for the side of LPE, and ang hirap ng bounce back dito, especially with the Roger na talagang ini-expect mo by the early stages of the game pa lang makakasabay ka agad dito from the side of Execration. Ngayon, ang magiging problema dito ng LPE is how they would like to go out. Even yung Uranus dito, hindi siya basta-bastang makakapag-segue dito kasi kaya siyang burahin dito even by simply with KLVJ.
Execration now has command over the map. Ito yung sinasabi natin, Rob, na in terms of turret, kailangan muna nilang i-secure yung mga turtles for their side. At kapag ka nakuha na nila yung mga pick-off na gusto nila, napanalo nila yung mga clash na gusto nila, Execration's plan is to push ng dire-diretso na. And kung
Totoo.
napapansin mo, from a full map para sa side ng LPE, napaliit na napaliit. And sa totoo lang, wala na silang outer turrets ngayon.
Wala ng outer turrets. And not only that, look at the positioning dito ni Chakno and Etomac. Hindi nila pinupush yung gitna. They are actually freezing the lane right now. And in terms of resources, paano ngayon mag-iipon? Mapo-force ngayon dito ang LPE to get the fight that they don't want, or they have to play it very risky to the point Execration sila ang mas makakalamang.
LPE, how do they deal with this? And as you can see, Arbs dito, humarap na siya. Ryota, gusto na talaga lumaban. Renzo and Chakno ang niyayakap niya dito. KillBJ going in. Jake the Dog ang pinaka-main target niya dito. Meteor Shower, tignan natin kung will it be enough damage. Pero sabi nila Kiel, tatakbuhan lang namin kayo. Bimo na huli dun sa may likod. And that is going to be the purple buff. Going pa rin kay Aspect. Pero Kelra, going with the flicker. Hindi sapat yung pagkakaroon mo ng onting sustain. That is going to be still my kill. Arbs dito, trying to get away. Imperial Justice, mahuhuli dito si Kelra. Pero it doesn't even matter. Execration, nagbabasag na lang sila ng mga turret dito.
The Wonder Kid, the double K dito ng Execration are really doing wonders para sa kanila Butters. And look at that, how flawlessly nilang binasag yung base turret sa may gitna. And with the triple kill from Kelra, they might actually seal the deal for the side of LPE. Kumbaga ang nangyayari na lang dito, Butters, they're just waiting for the Luminous Lord na mag-respawn, and probably yun na yung magiging pako, the nail in the coffin dito para sa side ng LPE. And I'm really can't think of a ways ngayon for LPE to bounce back. Probably they could get an awkward fight in the Lord at makakuha sila, or they could steal the Lord, pero I think they need to contest this one kasi kung hihintayin lang nila na mag-defend at magkamali dito yung Execration, medyo mababa ang chance. Though nakita natin kahapon, the longer the game drags, medyo tumatagal ang mga death timer, probably doon magkaroon ng mistake ang Execration.
Yung mga death timers na yan, it's a good thing that you brought that up. Kasi nga, parang ang nangyayari dito is yung punish mo sa late game. Kahit sabihin mo ikaw yung todo nakakalamang, pagka nahuli ka at hindi ka nag-ingat, ang laking blow nun para sa lineup o sa team nyo.
Totoo.
Now, tignan natin dito kasi meron ng mechanic na ganun na pumapabor ngayon naman sa side ng LPE. Kahit yung Execration yung talaga nag-take dito ng advantage as of this moment, and Lord has been slain. Renzo dito makakuha. Ginamit na nila yung mga ultimate nila dito, and that is going to be Bimo going down. Once again, LPE dito, sila ang nanganganib na matalo.
Yes, that might be a little miscommunication dito from side of LPE Butters. Aspect wasn't even ready to go into team fight doon sa may Lord Pit na yon. Nung nangyari yung, the last part nung buhay ng Lord doon, nasa gitna pa si Aspect. Kumbaga, napilitan lang sila na mag-contest doon, and now it's gonna be a hard defense na magagaling ngayon from LPE.
Renzo, umiikot-ikot lang dun sa may gilid. Farsa dito with the feathered airstrike. KillBJ nandun sa may taas, nagbabasag lang ng turret. Kelra din. Ang double K combination. Tignan natin kung paano ba matatapos dito ang LPE, o kung mapipigilan nila ang push na gagawin dito ng side na Execration. Guardian's Barrier na sa may pinakalikod. Arbs dito getting caught out by the Alice. At mapipigilan ng LPE yung pag-push dito na Execration.
Yes, but yeah, this is actually good news for the side of LPE kasi we all thought na pwede nang matapos yung game doon, pero right now, LPE doesn't have any single base turrets dito mga kaibigan, and this might be a rinse and repeat lang for Execration. They freeze the lane, they wait the Lord, or probably get a pick-off dito para mas tara na nila dito. Kasi kung papansin mo dito, Butters, the draft na meron dito ang LPE, ang hirap.
Yung revitalize sila, pakiramdam ko inaantay na lang din ng side ng X eh.
Pwede,
Revitalize eh. Kumbaga, at this point on, hindi ka na dapat masyado nagmamadali eh. Dapat mo nalang gawin, antayin mo na lang kung ano yung mga pwede mong gawin. KillBJ, nahuli si Jake the Dog dito. E tingnan natin yung laban na to. Alice will go down, Kelra, pero isa din ang kapalit nun. Jake the Dog, Aspect, sinusubukan niya mag-deal ng damage, pero Winter Truncheon para kay Etomax. Aspect dito, trying his best. Pero from the get-go pa lang, nasa-shutdown talaga siya ng Execration.
Yes, medyo nag-overcommit yata doon si Kelra, and probably baka cooldown yung kanyang winter truncheon. That's the reason bakit na-burst down kagad siya dito ng LPE. Pero still, Execration, they are very confident dito. Butters, pasukin ang base ngayon ng LPE.
And Execration slowly but surely just trying to take this win against LPE. While LPE naman, ito yung tenacity ng team eh. Ito yung pagiging ano talaga nila, matibay yung paninindigan. Na hindi kami basta-basta tutumba, ang kailangan nyo gawin para manalo is talagang i-challenge nyo kami hanggang dulo. Ipipilit namin protektahan to.
Yes, yun ang puso. Yun ang puso talaga dito. I mean, given na talagang their backs is against the wall na talaga dito against Execration eh. Pero kung iisipin mo, at least Execration, they are definitely disciplined dito. This is not the usual Execration natin na balagpagan, na lamang tayo, let's go in. They're actually just waiting pa rin dito for LPE na magkamali. Now, ngayon, ang magiging malaking tanong dito mga kaibigan, in a 1-minute mark, Butters, paano ang contest ng LPE? Hindi nila pwedeng hayaan lang ang Execration na makuha ang libreng Lord na to.
That is a question na kailangan ngang sagutin ng LPE. There is this thing na pwede nilang gawin na i-freeze na lang nila yung lane para kahit papano ay mapilitan yung LPE na magstay lang sa my base. But at the same time, Execration dito, it's pretty sure na talagang sa kanila ang mapupunta dito yung Lord kung hindi magko-contest dito yung LPE na medyo mag-50-50 sila. Kasi all in all, Rob, kapag ka may lumabas sa base ng LPE, that is going to be one person na automatic magiging susceptible sa kahit anong gank na gagawin dito sa side ng Execration. But let us see, there are fights happening all across the map, ladies and gentlemen. Rencho dito, nahuli siya, and that is going to be Aspect going down. KLBJ dito with 1/4 HP. That is going to be Arbs going down as well. Dalawang member na lang natitira dito para sa side ng LPE. Tingnan natin kung ano magiging desisyon dito ng Execration. Tatapusin na ba nila o kukunin pa nila ni Lord? I do think na tatapusin na nila to. They are really trying right now, Rob.
Kaya talaga nila to. They're not just trying, they're gonna do it ngayon, Butters. Look at the damage dito from KLBJ. Going na kagad siya, nakatarget siya. Base lock ngayon dito ang Execration.
And that is going to be Execration's win, ladies and gentlemen. And wow, what a performance coming out from them. And this winning moment is brought to you by Oppo A94. Experience gaming at full speed with Oppo A94. Get yours now for only $13,999.
Oh my, yung momentum na pinag-uusapan natin, Butters, with Execration, they're living into it. Ramdam natin dito, even with Kelra, he actually went ahead dito sa laro na to. I mean, mainit. Kumbaga, hindi na umabot sa ligamgam. Mainit na kagad ang laban.
Alam mo, ito yung confidence na nakikita mo sa side ng Execration. Pero kahit nasa kanila yung confidence na yon, kung papansinin mo, Rob, hindi sila nagiging overconfident at hindi nila sinusubukan lagpasan kung ano man yung pwede nilang gawin.
Totoo.
And this is a very scary Execration if you ask me.
Yes, and given that the two-tank setup na nakita natin with Execration, grabe, nasabi to kanina during sa panel, ano pa bang mga strategy ang meron ng Execration? And with Coach Pacbet, mukhang sa ngayon parang endless. Ang dami nilang nilalabas ngayon dito sa pagbabalik ng MPL.
Creativity and explosiveness, yan ang kailangan lagpasan dito ng LPE para sa game number 2. But right now, let us throw it back dito sa ating resident analyst na si Wolf. Wolf, what do you have to say? Let's go.
Thank you so much, casters, and very comfortable draft para sa Execration. Kaya naman sila yung nanalo sa masasabi nating tug of war all throughout this game number 1, which I will explain later. My name is Wolf, your analyst, at bakit hindi natin i-breakdown ang nangyaring match na yun. The following post-game statistics are brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. We're seeing significant na difference when it comes to the farm mula sa Execration and LPE. In fact, close naman talaga yung nangyaring early stages of the game. It's just that si KLVJ mas nakakapag-farm compared to Aspect. In fact, KLVJ was able to get 3 items already. Parang umabot siya sa 9K, tapos si Aspect ay 5K pa lang. Around the 9-minute timing, I would say, which kind of makes us feel na bakit ganun? Bakit lumamang si KLVJ? This is because Execration is very comfortable with their draft. Ngayon, kung titingnan din natin yung mga stat line, si Etomax lang yung mataas yung deaths kasi siya yung sobrang crucial nung role na pinlayout niya dito. For Execration, ang kanilang finers pick, it's the Alice as well as the Ling. Two heroes na sobrang farm dependent. In fact, sa late game pa talaga sila mag-rise. Lalong-lalo na sa meta natin ngayon. If we're looking at LPE, they picked up Roger and Benedetta. Ang ganda na talaga ng start for LPE when it comes to their draft and when it comes to the overall idea of what they wanted to control the early stages. It's just that Farsa last pick coming out from Execration was so perfect. Hindi lang yan. Hindi lang dahil dun sa hero na may wave clear siya whatsoever. Siya yung nakatoka para magdepensa ng Torre. Kaya nga naman napansin natin in the early stages of the match, walang nagkakabasagan ng Torre. It's because of the defense Execration. Minsan nga, sinasakripisyo pa nila yung buhay ni Farsa just to defend. And I think that's a massive decision from Execration at tinulungan yon na makapunta sila at manalo dun sa tug of war nga ng economy sinasabi natin. The following post-game statistics are brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Hindi lang naman ang Execration ang nanalo sa Game 1. In fact, pwede rin kayo manalo kung pupunta kayo sa mga QR code na ipa-flash natin for the live watching rewards all throughout the broadcast, lalong-lalo na ngayon sa analysis segment. So, aabangan ko kayo dyan dahil every time na lalabas tayo sa analysis segment, we'll see the QR codes gonna be popped up at meron kayong chance na manalo ng skin worth 599 diamonds. If you're part of the first 30,000 followers or entries na makakapasok para sa live watching rewards natin, we'll have that chance for sure. And we can see the development of the start of the match through the highlights. By the way, these game highlights are brought to you by Smart, the official tournament partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Tag of war talaga yung early stages. Makikita natin na was very close. Kung sino unang bumitaw dun sa control ng early stages, siya talaga yung madadali. But then again, Execration, they were able to get the victory onto this turtle fight by spreading them up. By the way, gusto rin nyo i-take note, Ling, pati na rin ang Alice, yung nature ng dalawang heroes na to ay meron silang way para ma-dive yung only wave clear na or solid wave clear ng LPE, which is the Chang'e. So technically speaking, meron silang way para sa dulo ng laban, sa late stages ay maaabot nila yung si Jake the Dog on the Chang'e. Technically speaking as well, may isa pang wave clear choice ang LPE, which is Uranus, pati na rin Benedetta. However, Benedetta was a tank or a roaming role, kumbaga, dito sa match to, played by Bimo. Also, by the way, napakagandang paggamit ni Chakno on this Grok. And you can see yung juggling potential ng Execration. Kasi marami silang talon, marami silang mobility tools. In fact, yung mga fights na ipapanalo nila in the mid stages of the match are based solely on juggling. Kasi yun naman yung kanilang lamang over LPE. You can see Execration, ang lilikot nila sa mapa with the front lines tanked up by Chapno. And then KelVJ, pati na rin si Kelray, the double K connection. Yung kanilang decision making kung kailan sila pupunta sa likuran or kailan sila susugod was so perfect in this particular game. Lalong-lalo na nung late stages. Yun yung bandang 14 minutes onwards. And that jump coming out from Kelra allowed for the double kill. Sobrang solid. Dahil yung Execration, eventually, makokontrol nila yung mapa afterwards. You can see yung juggling talaga ng Execration. In, out, then to control. Tapos meron kang vision coming out from Etomax. Tapos si Chakno sobrang confident with this Glock. Yung mga clashes na nangyari, it went in favor of Execration just solely because of the fact na kabisado nila yung mga heroes na ginamit nila. This is Ling and Alice, heroes that really like to farm, pero nako-convert nila yung time spent sa pag-farm into actual damage output and impact in a team fights. And now, those are the highlights. Sobrang ganda ng execution ng Execration dito. When you're looking at LPE, they have tools. Meron silang way to defend. May Benedetta, meron kang Chang'e. It's just that ginamit yung Chang'e on the gold lane role, tapos yung Benedetta ginamit naman as a roaming role. So in a way, hindi nila na-abuse or hindi nila na-maximize yung potential ng mga heroes na yun when going up against the heroes of Execration. This is why the MVP, however, is Chaknu. MVP of the game was brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Break through your own limits, rise above, and be free to game great with free games for all. The Grok, I mean, konti na lang ang gumagamit ng Grok. In fact, in the tournament, I think so far, Raflesha is there. Ginamit niya yung assassin na Grok, high and dry kind of Grok. Kasi Chakno, traditional. sobrang traditional in a way na nakuha pa nga niya yung kill sa isang Lord. Yung kuha sa last hit sa isang Lord, which really happened a long time ago now when we see it. But then again, Chakno and his presence, yung kanyang pressure na ginagawa in the front lines, as well as providing vision for his teammates to go alongside Eto Max. Eto talaga ang bread and butter ng Execration. Not only in this game, but also in their games prior to this. That has been my breakdown of game number 1. Balik na natin yun sa ating mga nagwagwapuang mga casters.
Nagwagwapuhang mga caster. Pasalamat tayo.
Thank you, Sir Wolf.
Sikreto yan. Sikreto ng mga gwapo. But still, maraming salamat, Wolf, and welcome back to the Caster's Desk. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Butters, your anchor. Kasama ko ngayon si Rob, ang aking analyst. Rob, any extra thoughts doon sa game number 1 bago tayo mag-move on papuntang game number 2?
Simple lang. Chat block.
Chat block. And that's the thing. Kumbaga, sabihin na lang natin na sobrang ganda nung naging control ng both of the teams na tama nagkaroon ng tug of war and wala kumukuha ng turret pero lahat nakatutok sa turtle. And by the time na lumabas yung pinakaunang Lord at si Aspect ay hindi pa siya nakaka-bounce back doon sa nangyari sa kanyang 0-4, parang ginamit na ng Execration yung nakalamangan para kunin yung Lord at mag-clear ng lahat ng outer turrets.
Totoo yan. At ito pa ang pinaka maganda sa side ng ng Execration.
Ano yan?
Ang bilis ng mobility nila. Parang given yung Grak, sobrang visible niya. So I mean, the classic Chakno. Alam mo yung lalim niya to provide the vision para mas maging madali for Kel VJ and for the rest of the members ng Execration para to roam around. Tapos given meron pa silang back siya that just simply roll around. Alam mo yung they are all over the place. And last thing na akala mo nasa baba, biglang katabi mo na pala.
And who will make smart choices in the draft? Andito na tayo sa drafting stage natin. This is brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Benedetta ang bandito ng Execration alongside the Angela, nice baby meta. And LPE, ayaw nila ibigay yung pakito.
Ayaw talaga. Since first pick ngayon dito ang Execration and most likely ipaprioritize nila yan kung i-open yan ng LPE. But yeah, I think we were actually seeing almost the same bans dito. Selena wasn't even banned pa at the moment. Pero if ever man, they might be willing to give the Selena just to get a different type of hero para dito sa side ng LPE. Kailangan nilang baguhin to, Butters, yung approach nila. And of course, yung mga nice one baby heroes, na mga nice one baby, na mga
Hindi pwede lumabas.
Hindi pwede talaga.
That's my baby right there. Laro lang.
Laro.
Ayun yung mga nakakayakita sa sa nyari, papasok kayo sa usapan, sa call. Tapos, isasama ka na nga lang, dalawa magjowa yung kasama mo.
Okay.
Tapos literal, ikaw yung pang third wheel kasi wala ka Yung paglima, usually, yun yung tumatanggap ng inggit dun sa mga nice baby. That's my baby right there.
Pag ganun kasi,
aya lang, walang inggitan.
Oo, saka makiramdam ka. 'Di ba?
Pam, makiramdam.
Makiramdam ka, tol. Pero, kidding aside mga kaibigan, this is actually a jawhead ban for the side of LPE. Now, what's gonna be it for Execration? What is open? Alice is still open. Esmeralda is as well is open, pero ano ba? Uranus ang magiging sagot dito ng Execration.
Alam mo yun, it's always nice to start with a strong side laner.
Oo.
So, kumbaga, pundasyon muna bago yung totoong aksyon na mangyayari para sa side ng Execration pagdating ng second and third pick nila. For LPE naman dito, Rob, you do have the Alice, which is one of the, sabihin na lang natin, consistent or strong heroes dito sa ating meta ngayon. And sila naman ang gumawa ng 1-2 punch. Ling and Alice din.
This is a mirror draft.
Well, I wouldn't say na mirror draft to, pero in terms of the first 2 picks, Rob,
yes,
technically, yung first 2 picks na ginawa ka ng Execration, ginaya nila.
Ginaya nila dito. Kumbaga, parang ramdamin mo yung sarili yung poison na to. Kumbaga,
parang kala nyo kayo lang kami din.
Kami din. Kaya din namin gawin yan for the Execration. Pero now, it's gonna be tricky for the side of Execration. What's it's gonna be yet? Since they already have their own, probably this is gonna be XP lane na Uranus, they would like to secure dito probably their jungler. And what's gonna be it? Gagayahin ka nila to. So, sige, kinuha nyo yung link, kami naman ang magro-Roger. Papakita namin paano mag-Roger.
Execration, they will pick a Harith and a Lunok. So, ibig sabihin dito, this probably the Etomax and the Kelra hero as we are seeing kung paano nila gamitin to. And pwede din naman mid, papunta kay KelVJ, pero that is not as efficient dun sa mga compared sa mga oras na pwede pa sana talagang gamitin na jungle ang isang Harith.
Wow.
LPE, they get the Grok.
Yes. So, are they saying that we're gonna be picking the Farsa next? So, kumbaga, sabi dito ng LPE, ginawa nyo sa amin yan. Kaya din namin ipatikim sa inyo. Pero, Execration, they are on that heroes earlier and most likely they know how it will play out. So, this is gonna be a big question for them right now. What's gonna be the mid lane na kanilang ibaban dito? Will they ban the Farsa? Or will they ban the Chango?
They could ban the Farsa, pero alam mo, eto depende pa rin kasi yan sa paggamit ng Grok eh. Like, kanina nakakita tayo ng isang traditional Grok para kay Chakno. Ang trabaho ni Chakno doon is lagyan ng focus and mark yung mga members doon ng LPE. Kaya sila lumalambot. Kaya nagkakaroon ng freedom execution na pumili ng isa pang target dahil nga may pampalambot sila doon sa isang Grok. Now, LPE, paano nila gagamitin to? Pwede nila gamitin yung mga high-end try shenanigans na ginagawa ng ibang teams. But then again, it's all up to them. Louis ang binandito ng Execration. Ayaw nila makakita ng mga diversion play. While for the side of LPE, ayaw nila makakita ng show ng isang Chakno.
Totoo yan. Not only that, no, this is probably the first time na medyo nineglect dito ang isang Selena. We've been, for the countless series na meron tayo dito for MPL Season 7, most of the time ban ang Selena. Even lagi siyang kasama sa first 3 bans ng mga teams dito. Pero right now, on this certain draft natin, both teams, hindi nila pinapansin. And this might be a good pick for LPE, or since mukhang ang magiging jungler na rito ng Execration most likely is gonna be a marksman, will they want to pick like a Eudora? So para mabura nila kaagad dito?
Those are valid points. Pero tingin ko para kay LPE, Rob, pwede silang magsilina dito eh. Kasi usually naman ang isang Ling nag-start sa buff eh.
Totoo.
And kung gusto mo mag-start sa buff, what better hero to choose than the Selena? Kasi Selena, lalagay siya ng isang trap, tapos kalmot onte, kalmot everywhere. Mabilis makukuha dito ni Ling o ni Aspect yung kanyang buff at makakaikot sila ng mabilis. But still, LPE, they go for that Khalid and madami siyang mga players dito actually na gumamit agad ng mga ultimates. That might be yung Uranus and yung Lunox para sa side dito ng Execration. This is a good way to catch people. At the same time, magandang combination din yan para kay Alice.
Yes. Agree with you, no? Kumbaga, in terms of LPE dito, medyo AoE-centric din, no? Yung kanilang lineup dito, we have the Selena and of course, yung ultimate din ng isang Ling and etong sa Khalid. Pero going for Execration, they are more on a certain target. No? Kumbaga, burst down pero single-handedly. So, I was really thinking dito, I think the Claude is still open, but this might be a little bit squishy. Pero what are the choices ngayon for Execration?
And we will find out, ladies and gentlemen, as that is going to be the Granger and the Kufra. Gusto nila na may pang-counter initiate sila. Kung papansin mo, Rob, yung lineup dito na ginawa ng LPE, meron kang Khalid, meron kang Alice. So that means ang dami yung pang-dive dun sa likod without getting damage as much as possible.
Yes.
Si Croc din, may wild charge din yan, and especially si Ling. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng mga heroes dito ng LPE, papasok eh.
Yes, totoo yan. And one thing, no, na going dito with Execration jungler, mostly yung mga nakikita natin na Granger na gumagamit, laging may partner na isang Rafaela na mabilis yung ikot, mas parang nakakapag-farm agad-agad. And this gonna be a different ngayon for the side of Execration. Pero LPE will be picking as their last pick, their mid lane, ang isang Kagura.
Maganda yung Kagura pick na ginawa dito ng LPE. Considering na meron kang Harith, meron kang Granger at meron kang Lunox, you are going to force someone na talagang ma-burst down or mapauwi dahil kaya mo silang bawasan ng matinding buhay dito. At the same time, ang ginagawa naman ng Execration dito, they're going for the poke play. na parang kukuha tayo ng isang pick-off, tatalon yung Kufra, tapos kapag may nahuli yung Kufra, ang gagawin naman nila is susubukan nilang burst yun. Nalito ko kay Manjin. Pati sa Lunox.
Yes.
Kasi grabe yung burst potential eh. Meron kang Chaos Darkening, meron kang Rondo, meron kang Death Sonata. Ang daming ways to burst down someone baka dito sa side ng Execration. So, kailangan mag-ingat yung LPE dito sa pagpasok. Hindi dapat sila hiwa-hiwalay dito.
Oo, and probably, baka harapan dito. Katulad ng ginawa ng game number 1 dito ni Chakno, nandito naman for the side ngayon ng LPE, yung kanilang Grak to be able to soak out the damage na sinabi mo kanina, yung Rhapsody, probably pati yung Death Sonata dito ng isang Granger. So, medyo in terms dito sa Execration, no, sa kanilang draft ngayon dito, Butters, masasabi ko, they have to play it precisely sa kanilang mga power spike. Like for example, this Granger needs to work its way around from early to mid game na at least makakuha ng early lead dito against LPE. Kasi kung iisipin mo rito, nasa LPE ngayon ang bola ng late game.
Tingnan mo si Etomax dito kung gaano siya ka-aggressive. Wow, talagang nag-deal siya ng sobrang daming damage dito with his first skill. Now, LPE, Bimo, and Arvs getting that sabihin natin, extra vision for their side and extra buff din para sa isang Grak dito. And at the same time, nandun din sa may area si Chaknu at si Etomax. Alam nila dito na magpipilit sila Bimo at si Arvs na mag-invade, especially with the Kagura and the Grak.
Yes, kaya binabantayan na rin ni Chakno rito yung kanyang jungler So far dito LPE medyo maganda ang rotation nila dito compared to what they had on the first game, and given that LPE they slightly have a better side lane in terms of this Khalid against Execration.
Execration, ladies and gentlemen, tignan natin kung paano nila kokontrolin yung early game nila dito. And Netomax, nahuli sa may gitna. Arvs naman dito, medyo kinulang yung damage, and Netomax will be able to get away. Bimo dito, na-swing niya naman yung kanyang power of nature, but still, at sabihin na lang natin na si Arvs dito, hindi
Timing din na nandun si Chakno. Potentially, kung wala rin namang flicker doon, baka na-pick off doon si Etomax. So, mga kaibigan, medyo slow ang pacing natin dito sa laro na to. Probably the first team fight na makikita natin is to within this first turtle.
Dahil ba sobrang dependent ng mga heroes nila sa mga ultimate nila, kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng slow start dito?
Agree. I mean, going back dito sa LPE, look at their AOEs, is lahat manggagaling din from their ultimates. And with Execration, they could potentially get the early game, given that the damage potential dito from this Granger. Look at how Chakno is zoning out the members dito ng LPE. Only Ryota ang makaka-contest dito sa turtle na to.
And Ryota dito, nandun siya sa quicksand guard, but he will still go down. Turtle dito, mapupunta pa sa Execration, and this is the fight na hinahanap ng Execration kanina pa. And dito na masisira yung balance natin, yung equilibrium na nangyari kanina. Nag-live sila in peace for quite some time nung nag-level 4
kay Ryota. Meanwhile, sa may top lane, Jake the Dog, delikado siya dito.
Jake the Dog, tinada siya dito ni Kelra, and in a 1v1 situation, nawalan bigla si Jake doon ng mga minion.
Oo, ang mahirap pagka isa-isang alis, pag wala na yung mga minion, parang mas magiging vulnerable kapag given that the 7th Force was there, and I think Calamity Reaper was also available dito para sa side ngayon ni Kelra. And one more thing, it's may top lane.
And Renjo dito will get punished. Nag-overextend siya doon. Tinry niya mag-cut ng waves para kahit pa paano yung makatulong siya sa ibang lanes. Ito yung importansya ng pagka-cut waves Pero still, you have to remember, meron pa rin mga taong pwede mag-rotate para parusahan ka, at yun yung nangyari doon.
Wow, look at KLVJ trying to snipe doon si Arvs with his Death Sonata. Pero delikado to Torre dito sa gitna. Butters, hindi yata kayang depensahan ni Bimo to.
And Bimo dito can only do so much. Tama ka doon. Hindi naman gaano ka-spammable dito yung power of nature. Etomax and the others, nag-i-aim na silang kunin dito yung purple buff ng isang ling. Alam naman natin kung gaano ka-importante ang purple buff para sa isang ling.
Dangerous grounds to for LPE, mga kaibigan. Kailangan to ni Aspect. This is not the time para mawalan siya ngayon dito ng purple buff. Medyo nagkakaroon na naman ng pressure dito on the side of LPE because Execration is actually execution very well ngayon dito sa mid-game natin. Look at the job na magagaling kay Chakno.
And Ryota getting caught out. Eto na, Lunox going in, and that is going to be the kill for that Lunox.
At sabi ni Bimo dito, we will go for the wild charge, taking down 2 people, ladies and gentlemen. But Chakno dito with the counter initiate. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Plays after plays coming from both tanks.
Alam mo yung nangyari doon? Talon ni Chakno, set niya, labas siya, rinse and repeat. Chakno is just creating space for the whole Execration squad dito, mga kaibigan. And time and time again, itong tank na to, sobrang reliable. Alam mo yung, ang dali ng nagiging galaw dito nila kay LVJ. Halos hindi nga mapasok. Sinubukan yun ng Kagura, pero buntikan pa. Actually, siya yung nabura doon. And given that, na-burst downs din sila nung Lunox dito ni Etomax. And right now, Bimo is having a hard time to zone out the members of Execration. And that's gonna signal Execration ngayon para kunin ang susunod na turtle.
LPE, anong gagawin nila dito? Aspect still alive. Pwede nilang i-contest to. Pwede nilang hayaan na mapunta dito sa side na Execration, and they will let it be. Aspect dito, ang ginagawa niya is masaya na siyang nakakuha siya ng free farm sa jungle at hindi nila ipipilit yon. But Renjo here, medyo nagkakaroon na ng difference itong bot lane na to. Kahit kaya nila pareho i-sustain ang isa't isa, but still, it all depends on that turret. Kumbaga, alam mo yun, nabasagan na si Renjo dito ng side niya ng turret, but still, si Ryota dito napoprotektahan niya pa rin itong turret nila.
Yes, given na napoprotektahan niya yun, no? Pero medyo slight disadvantage pa rin yun para sa side ng LPE, or given that dapat mas nakalamang kasi yung Khalid doon against the Uranus. Yung execute dito ng Khalid, halos hindi nila nagagamit, and look at that. Just like that, Butters, nawalan ng purple buff na naman si Aspect.
And Ryota dito, mapipilitan na naman siya gumamit ng quick sand guard. Kinain niya yung Rondo, kinain niya yung first kill doon ng isang Granger, but still, the damage is not enough, pero nakakamdaman mo pa rin na yung away doon sa damage ni Kiel at sa doon sa quick sand guard, napakalaking factor pa rin yan. Parang hindi ka na nga nakapag-quick sand guard sa ganung alagay.
Oo, kumbaga parang nag-gate lang din yung regeneration na manggagaling doon sa quick sand guard. Medyo malalim si Renzo dito, pero confident siya because he's just creating space, and meron din naman siyang flicker. Now, Execration are slowly choking down LPE, yung resources nila dito. Probably itong bottom lane na to mabasag na rin. Unti-unti na to, Butters. Uubusin na ngayon dito ng Execration yung mga outer turrets ng LPE to the point na mapipilitan na naman sila to go with some risky plays like what they did on game number 1.
Now, yung story dito sa larong to, Execration, laging may tug of war dito sa mga games netong 2 teams na to.
Yeah.
LPE, nakakalaban sila, pero Execration, sila yung nakakalamang in terms of objectives. Ngayon, this is the Chakno factor, tingin ko, Robe. Na, automatic, wala si Chakno, alam mo kung nasan siya. Pero dahil doon kung nasan siya, natatakot kayong magstay doon sa area na yun kung saan niya maaabot kayo kasi alam mo ang galing mag-set netong taong to.
Oo, and given na hindi rin ganun kadali ang mga set dito for the side of LPE. I mean, given na itong Graf, hindi mo naman basta-basta masesetan yan, pero he's actually getting the right target. Kumbaga, binibigyan niya ng pressure dito, katulad ng mid lane. Like sila Arbs, pinapasok niya basta-basta dito, pero speaking of basta-basta, nawala doon si Chakno.
And Chakno dito, getting forced out, and siya ay tutumba. Jake the Dog! Tatamaan siya dito, ladies and gentlemen, ng isang bala ng Death Sonata, and that is a 2-for-1 trade favoring the side of Execration.
Yes, Execration is still got ahead doon sa exchange na yun. Yes, Chakno, nakuha siya doon, but Ryota was also been down, and na-pressure din nila as well dito yung LPE. So, ang ginagawa ngayon dito ng Execration, well, actually, they're taking the first Lord, and this is gonna be uncontested, Butter.
Tatandaan ba, Butter?
Kinulang ng S.
Kinulang ng S. Tama naman kasi kinulang din ng LPE doon ng retribution para i-contest yung Lord. Tama ka doon.
Konti lang sila na konti.
Tama ka doon. Rob
yung
una.
damage nila.
Rob una. Tama ka doon. But still, you have to remember dito, Rob, one of the main factors kung bakit nagkakaroon ng difference dito into the kills is because yung Execration, nasa kanila yung lamang in terms of range eh.
Yun. Range and burst nandito sa side ngayon ng Execration. I mean, AoE wise, yes, LPE has all of it. Pero the mere fact na hindi nila yun magamit against dito sa Execration kasi lagi sila ding nauunahan. And even itong yung kanilang link, hindi makapasok basta-basta. And together with Bimo, hindi niya maka-zone out kasi kaya siyang tunawin dito na Etomax with its Lunox.
Tsaka iisipin mo, Rob, kapag ka pumasok ka dun sa mga AOE, sabihin natin si Jake the Dog, pumasok siya with the flowing blood. Si Ryota, nag-ultimate siya dun sa may gitna. You have to remember na kapag ka hindi naging successful yung initiation mo, kailangan mo tumakbo pabalik. At dun pumapasok yung range battle dito. Na hinahabol ka ng Death Sonata, hinahabol ka ni Kel na nakapagsaman for sa nagko-chrono dash. Ang daming areas na kailangan i-cover ng LPE para maka-escape sila ng maayos.
Tignan mo nga dito si Renzo, para sumasali na sa LPE. Kumbaga, hindi na siya pinapansin. Dito, kumbaga, parang kampi na. Diba, ganon ka-confident ngayon dito ang Execration going in sa base ng LPE.
Pre, may tryout mo kayo. Natuloy siya sa gitna. Pero, alam mo yon, ito yung zoning capability ng isang Uranus. Si Ryota nandun sa may likod. Quick Sand Guard. I don't think that it will save him in any way. Lord goes down, pero will it matter? Jake the Dog goes down once again. And look at the damage output coming up from Execration. Will this be a 2-0? Look at that. Shakdu going in with a 2-man Tyrant's Revenge. At tutumba dito yung mga members ng LPE. Left and right. Arbs dito. Bimo. Sila na lang ang natitira. Susubukan nilang i-def etong base nila. But still, will it be enough? Renzo dito. Still at full HP. And Ryota kakabuhay lang. Pero it won't really matter as Execration takes game number 2 in the series.
And yes, Butters, wow! Execration from the momentum that they had yesterday, dala-dala pa rin nila ngayon. What a sweep para sa team na to.
And this winning moment, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by Head and Shoulders. Put your game face on and finally say goodbye to those awkward itch a GG moments. Thanks to Head and Shoulders, 100% dandruff-free and itch-free. Now, mas mabango pa.
Yes, mas mabango talaga ang magiging tulog dito, or rather ganda ng tulog dito ng side ng Execration as they got 3 points against LPE. LPE really needs to bounce back. This is their third loss in a row and I think they have to think twice or hard kung paano ang magiging approach nila sa mga susunod na nilang laban.
Then again, yung Execration na to, iba yung side na pinapakita nila ngayon eh. Like, nasabi na to dati na in terms of execution, hindi daw sila nakakagalaw masyado. Katulad ng sinabi mo, may dalawang execute na.
Oo.
Na sobra na sa execute, pero yung execution, pero right now, yung execution nila is on point and this is a scary Execration papasok ng next games nila. But let us throw it back to our analyst, Wolf. What do you have for us?
Thank you so much, casters. Nakita natin ang magandang execution na naman ng Execration, but this time solely focusing on the early objectives. Lalong-lalo na abusing the fact that they have a good early game composition compared to their opponents, LPE. My name is Wolf, your analyst, at bakit hindi natin i-breakdown ang naging laban na yun. The following post-game statistics are brought to you by Smart, the official tournament co-partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. And we did say about early game and their potential para sa Execration. Kung isipin, yung Execration, ang una nilang direksyon sa kanilang draft ay medyo late game. Dahil inuna nila yung Harith pick combination with the Uranus. Tapos yung LPE naman, parang, hindi naman sa ginaya, but more like the same first two picks, which technically is Ling as well as the Alice. Same with what Execration did in the previous match. So, makikita mo na agad yung personality ng pare sa teams na to when it comes to the kind of composition that they want to run. Yung LPE, gusto nila, meron silang pampunta sa backlines at meron silang late game prowess with Ling as well as Alice. Nandun na rin yung kanilang assassination potential. Samantala yung Execration naman, ang talagang revelation lang nung kanilang nature of the draft was in the second phase. In fact, yung last two picks nila ay Kufra as well as the Granger, which I thought is very good when it comes to dealing with LPE. Meron silang Kufra na pang-lockdown ng Ling if ever. May maganda silang way para pigilan din yung Khalid in a way. At meron silang early game courtesy of the Granger. Early game in form of taking jungle at pati na rin yung mga objectives like turtles and turrets and even the Lord. Tapos, sa late game stages, meron silang Harith. So, if ever dumating nga sa point na kailangan na magkaroon ng late game battles when it comes to their cores, magkakaroon tayo ng laban between Harith Granger versus Ling and Alice, which if you think about it ay mas madaming tools ang LP in the end. But in the early stages and the mid stages of the match. Lalong-lalo na around objectives, dyan lalamang naman ang side ng Execration, which we will see later. For now, the following post-game statistics are brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Lalong-lalo na pa rin sa mga viewers natin na nanonood ng mga post-game analysis. Swerteng-swerte kaya dahil pag pinuntahan nyo ang QR code na to, just scan it or maybe go to the link para sa ating live watching rewards. You'll have the chance to win a skin worth 599 diamonds. Sali lang kayo dyan at first 30,000 followers or entries will be granted the treasure box. Sana makakuha kayo. But then again, let's go back to the game and watch the highlights of the match. These game highlights are brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Turtle fight, very crucial. Execration, nakakuha sila ng advantage dahil alam natin yung kanilang early game prowess with Lunox na played as a mid, tapos meron kang Granger. Sobrang taas ng kanilang potential para mag-take ng Turtle. Although, Link, technically speaking, meron siyang Tempest of Blades into Retribution na pwedeng gawin niyang play, hindi natin nakita. By the way, Kelra, what an amazing outplay onto the top lane. Sobrang crucial nun kasi namatay siya in the first round dahil ginank siya ng LPE tapos nakabawi agad siya when it comes to the economy. But looking at this, 6 minutes in pa lang, we can see na forwards na talaga Execration. Makakuha sila ng what? One turret as of this moment, tas one turtle, tapos na nakakaw sila ng isang purple buff. Eventually getting more pressure and influence around the map. By the way, napakagandang juggling. Yung flicker ni Chuck na doon, you saw in that slow-mo. Tapos babalik siya to fight with the Tyrant's Rage or Tyrant's Revenge. Tapos Tyrant's Rage dito sa moment na to, yung in-out potential coming out from Execration, so crisp. Nakikita natin yung kit kasi ng kanilang mga heroes, halos lahat may dashes at significant yung mga dash. So when we saw the juggling ulit na potential ng Execration, just like in the previous game, mas amplified pa sa larong to. In fact, sa early stages ng teamfights, yung damage output ng LPE ay hindi pa ganun kataas. Tapos na-juggle pa sila, na-co-control pa sila, or in the terms of players, na ma-micro sila sa mga fights. Doon na natin nakita na Execration ay handang-handa sa laban na to. Hindi lang sa draft, pati na rin sa kanilang execution. Eto Max, 6, 1, and 5. When it comes to the KDA, damage dealt is 44,000 coming out from the mid laner and 79% kill participation. These are MVP stats talaga for a Lunox. Coming out from Etomax, the MVP of the game was brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Break through your own limits, rise above, and be free to game great with free games for all. And Etomax, the MVP of the game, dahil sa kanyang tamang pwestuhan, tamang paggamit ng kanyang skill and survivability and the burst down potential. But also, we still have to take note yung ibang mga members. Like Chakno, for example, on this Kufra. Wonderful performance. Granger, as well as Kelra on the Hadit, and syempre Uranus mula kay Renzo, all working lalong-lalo na sa sarili nilang roles when it comes to just filling up the job na kailangan nilang gawin. Doon sila nakakuha ng victory. Execration sweeps LPE. That has been my analysis of game number 2 and that series. Back to you, casters.
Maraming salamat, Wolf. And ang juicy nung binato ni Wolf doon, ang dami yung facts na sinabi. And the thing is, laging tug of war talaga yung nagaganap doon sa mga first two, yung actually 2 games na nangyari doon. Tug of war siya. Pareho silang sinusubukan kumuha ng pick-off. Sinusubukan nila manalo ng skirmishes unti-unti. And at the same time, tingin mo ba it is a veteran thing for Execration to win those back and forths na nangyari?
Yeah, I guess. I think ang nangyayari, no, parang yung rotation in the early stages of the game, parang it's almost the same. Merong nakukuha yung kapilang team, Execration,
exactly.
Meron din namang nakukuha yung LPE. Parang lagi lang nag-revolve talaga doon sa first turtle eh. I mean, LPE, ang ganda na naging start nila on the first game, tapos suddenly namatay yung dalawa sa kanya. Kumbaga, na 0-2 na nila si Kel VJ nung game number 1, tapos suddenly bumaliktad pa. Tapos on game number 2, naulit na naman yon para sa side ng Execration.
And guys, marami pa kami pwede sabihin, but still, we have to make way para doon sa ating third series. MPL Philippines Season 7 is presented by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. And that has been the second series of the day. Ako nga pala si Butters, kasama ko si Rob Luna, and we were your casters for that. Execration versus LPE series. We will see you in a bit. Magkakaroon na tayo ng short break. See you guys.